I just want to make like a little video, kind of, I want to make a video kind of like coming out of the closet, just because I haven't had the space to like talk about it. But I'm really trying to find my community when it comes to like the girls, the lesbians. So I'm a single mom of 2. I left my relationship with a man, and the relationship was very toxic. It ended up being a domestic violence relationship, and for some time I didn't want to go to therapy, so I went to this free group therapy for a while. And eventually I started going to therapy. Months started to go by. I was still dealing with my ex, and eventually my ex left me alone. So then it got to the point where I started expressing and talking to my therapist about all the stuff I was going through, and expressing that I was dealing with a lot from that relationship, and I just wanted to kind of make a video of me coming out as lesbian the moment I realized I truly like women and don't really like men. And I feel like part of the reason I don't like men no more is because of my past experience with a man. And I mean, I had another bad experience with a man, but I was not in a relationship with that man. But I've had sexual trauma from my past, and I just wanted to say a part of that is kind of why I don't find men attractive anymore. But there's also the part of me that I just genuinely prefer women. I've started to find women very attractive, and I've got one woman that I kind of got my eye on, but I'm not trying to like think anything of it. Like, that's just kind of how I do the relationship thing now. After I've learned a lot from my ex, I've learned to not rush things. I've learned to take things slow. This is also coming from somebody who spent 3 years in a relationship with somebody, got married at 21, got divorced at 24, and is starting all over again at 25. And this is just also some big sister advice as well. To anybody going through anything similar to what I have experienced, I just wanted to express that it was a lot to go through, and now I'm going through a lot of stuff right now, like coming to terms with my sexuality. It took me months. I would say a couple months ago, probably like 2 months ago, is when I really started thinking that I was lesbian. And then I was going back and forth between bisexual, because I had come out as bisexual at 18, but I didn't truly have the words and knowledge and the fully developed brain to really process a lot of things. I did the whole relationship with a man and realized I didn't like that, and realized that I had thought I wanted to do that again, but I decided that I don't really want to do that again. And then I started looking at women more, looking at men differently, and then everything I unraveled in therapy just kind of opened a lot for me. So I've just been doing a lot of figuring things out, figuring out my sexuality, figuring out who I like, what I like. It really takes a lot to like figure yourself out, and sexuality is very like fluid. So if you go from being lesbian back to being bisexual or to being pansexual, you don't have to. One thing I've learned is you don't have to stay at one label. Right now, I might be very, very attracted to women and consider myself lesbian, and I may not like the lesbian part. I just like the me part. but that's okay, because I've come to learn into terms with that there could be a day that maybe I do like men again. But for right now, I am attracted to women, only attracted to women. I was mourning last night, kind of grieving the fact that I was bisexual for a while, trying to process that. Now I'm gay, and that's just where I stand. I've always known I was attracted towards women, but after everything I dealt with my ex, and I started to like really sit with myself and be alone with myself, I started to understand and really realize that I like women. And everything I went through in a whole year, it'll be coming up on a year since I left my ex, the 28th of June. So that day is coming up, and it's just really wild how much can change in a year, because last year I still wanted to get back together with him. I truly wanted him. I just wanted to be with him. And now I've just kind of got to the point where I like who I am. I like myself. I like my life. I like who I'm attracted towards. I'm focusing on my health. I'm focusing on losing weight, focusing on growing out my little curls. I'm allowing myself to just kind of go with the flow and not really push myself to being one thing specifically. And since I came out as a lesbian to myself, I started accepting it and started to get things and buy things that represent what I'm attracted towards. And now I've got a necklace that represents being a lesbian on my jewelry hanger, and I have a flag that will be here today that I'm gonna hang up here eventually. And I've just come to terms with that's what I like. I used to have a bisexual flag. I lost it, but yeah, I've just kind of come to terms, and if I ever decide that I'm bisexual again, I'll buy a bisexual flag. But for now, this is just where I'm at in my life. This is where I'm at for being a single mom. And since I haven't dealt with my ex in a while, almost 2 months, almost 3 months, I'm really finally able to just look at myself and be like, that's what I like, that's who I am, and I like who I am, and don't ever change. And also, once you hit the age like 25, you just stop caring about labels and how you present yourself to the world. If you like women, you like women. If you like men, you like men. If you don't like nobody, you don't like nobody. That's just how it is. So one day you just kind of come to terms with, you don't have to feel a certain way. You also don't have to dress a certain way. I used to think I had to dress more masculine to be with females, but turns out I like females that are very girly, because I can be very girly if I want to, and sometimes I'm not super girly, and I just do what I do. So I'll see y'all later, and yeah, this is my coming out as lesbian, as gay, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Thanks for listening. Bye.